Hi friends. So in the last class we saw how a young man was brought back to life just by investing £7 and 10 shillings on him by Dr. A.J.Cronin. Now the story is told by the author himself, Dr. A.J.Cronin, and therefore this is a first person narrative. Narrate means to tell. So narrative means something that is told. So here what is told is the story of this young man, how he has been brought back to life, redeemed or saved, we can say, S-A-V-E-D, redeemed, R-E-D-E-M-E-D, redeemed or saved. That word comes in the text later, you can see, and then we will see that word in detail once again. Okay, so now for the time being promenade. You can pronounce it as promenade or promenade. It's a French word meaning a space for the public to walk. It's a promenade. Promenade. Deck is the floor of the ship, usually made of wood. That is deck means. I was standing on the deck of a ship. Titanic. You must have seen that those two characters standing on the deck of the ship. Yes. Now then, because beware became beware of. Became beware of means I came to know. As I was standing on top of the mountain, I became aware of the depth or the height on which I was standing, where I was standing. So understand? Or when I looked down the depth, when I was standing and looking around the height, that is the thing. That is became aware of. When I was standing in the bus stand, I became aware of the large number of buses coming and going from there. Many buses coming and many buses going. I became aware of that. When I was standing in the class, I became aware of the attitude of students in the class. Some of them are indifferent, some of them are very attentive, some of them don't attend at all. They're like that. Aware of. Gaze, G-A-Z-E, gaze means to look at a person or anything for a long time. But that is not to gaze at people is not good manners. You cannot looking like this. This is gazing at. You can gaze at stars. You can gaze at stars. You can gaze at the sky, but not human beings, because you can gaze at animals because they don't know whether you are gazing or not. Now, looking at a man or a woman, a human being for that matter, gazing is bad manners. Understand? Gazing at a person. This is like tedium. Tedium means boredom. B-O-R-E-D-O-M. Boring is tedium. The tedium of attending a class of 2 hours. Suppose somebody is giving a lecture to you for 2 hours, it will definitely, you will become aware of the tedium of that lecture, attending that lecture. You will become aware of the tedium of attending that lecture. Understand? Then a lecture should just say 20 minutes maximum or 30 minutes, not more than that. Importunate. Importunate means making requests one after another for the same thing. But children are like that. Suppose children, they have an idea, they want a ball, then they say, ball, like that. They will be crying out or requesting. So that's called importunate. Usually, people don't like importunate acquaintances or importunate friends. There are some friends who are importunate, means they will go on asking for the same thing again and again. That is importunate means. People usually dislike such kind of people. I hope you understand all these words. Now we get into the text, okay? On the second day, out from New York. So that is the journey by ship, we call voyage, isn't it? On the second day, first day nothing happened. But second day, out from New York, while making the round of the promenade deck. So promenade deck means the deck of the ship which is where the public or public in the sense that the travelers in the ship, so they go for leisurely walks or just standing there, leisurely standing, or just standing alone and watching the waves and watching the seagulls flying away, or watching the sky or the galaxy, stars, group of stars and so on. That is, that's an open space, the deck. Here, promenade deck is an open space. You can see in the second picture which I have given you here, you will find the deck, side from the from the beginning to the end of the body of the ship. That is, you will find that like a veranda, you can say. So, promenade deck. I suddenly became aware. I became aware, I came to know. Suddenly became aware. I suddenly came to know that one of the passengers, there are many passengers, so one of them was watching me closely. As I was going, he would watch me, look at me. And coming back, again he would look like. So watching me closely is very in detail, so to say. Not that he goes close to him, not that, but watching him closely means watching every aspect of that person, how he is walking, where he is looking, and all those things. Following me with his gaze. So he was closely watching A.J.Cronin, how with his gaze, gaze means, this is gazing. Every time I passed means, I passed through which place? Promenade. Understand? As I was walking to and fro. Then when I moved forward, he will look like this. When I come back, he will look like this. So that is watching me with his gaze very closely. Usually people don't like that. Gazing at a person is bad manners. Oh, here is that gaze also, gazing. So gazing at a person is bad manners. Yes. And then, so what do you understand here? This is the second day of their trip out from New York. There are many passengers. Dr. A.J.Cronin, leisurely he is taking a walk along the promenade deck. Promenade deck. Deck is means the floor. It can be inside the floor, inside a room is also, you can say, deck of the ship made of wood. So he was doing that because it's a long ship journey. It's a long one now, and also there's no, if you don't have good friends with you, then you are all alone. Then you feel like walking, taking a walk along the promenade deck. Everybody does that. Many passengers. But this one particular passenger was looking at me, he says. Me means Dr. A.J.Cronin. As I was walking, moving forward and backward. See, as I was coming forward, and sometimes I go, sometimes I stand still, or sometimes I sit somewhere. All the time he was watching me with his gaze. I wanted to rest, because second day, first day. If you first day train journey, it will be very, you can say very interesting. You can go, you can look through the window. You get a window view. You can see many things, new people. You can see new scenes. You can see sights. You can enjoy all those things. But second, third, fourth, and so on, you get tired. Then you start. What do? You start someday sleep and so on. So this is the second day. I wanted to rest, to avoid the tedium, to get rid of. To avoid means to get rid of the boredom of casual and importunate shipboard contacts. Casual means not serious. So there are some people, you are standing in the bus stand, somebody will go, you have never seen him. So when will this particular bus come? Yes. So he is not our friend. We don't know him. But such people are called casual acquaintances. people who come to you, not very seriously, they just want to, where are you going? I think that I have seen you. Like some kind of questions like that they will have. There are such people are casual, not intimate, not your friend, nor you don't know him. See, he's a stranger maybe, but he will be asking such questions to you. And importunate. Importunate means some people are there. They will come and ask. They will go on asking questions like this. What about you? From where are you coming? So what do you know about this? So did you see that particular bus? Yes. What is going on here before I came here? Then 1 hour after another they will be asking questions like this. No, that such people are called importunate people. Shipboard contracts. Shipboard, people traveling by ship. That is, contacts means people. Shipboard contact, people traveling by bus. So I do not want anybody to disturb my privacy. So I thought I will sit somewhere and take rest. I don't like these strangers coming and asking me questions, this and that. And especially being a doctor, sometimes people will come and he was expecting some people casually. They will come and say, I have some headache, what I should do. And things like that, when you see a doctor, you can ask many things, because he knows many things, but we don't know anything. And therefore we will be going on asking things to him, and he did not want that. Especially questions from casual contacts. Contact means a person who comes into contact with somebody, a person who sees or meets. Casual people who come to me casually, means not seriously, not for anything, any serious purpose. So what is his attitude? This is second day of his journey. Then his attitude is that he wants to be all alone. He is not interested in meeting people, not interested in strangers coming and asking questions to him, not interested in knowing anybody's whereabouts or matters about anybody. And so he said, shipboard, casual and importunate. Two very good words, casual. Casual means not serious, importunate means asking questions one after another. And not for knowing anything, but just for the sake of keeping contact with you, or they want to open a conversation with you. For that they will be asking questions. I do not want that, he says. Shipboard contacts means people being a shipboard, on the ship. Contacts, people coming to contact me, to meet me, to contact me, to meet me. So that I do not like. I gave no sign of having noticed the man. So here is a man who was watching me. Naturally, the doctor expected that he wanted to ask me some questions. He wanted to meet me. He wanted to see me for something. His face, his body language showed that he wanted to meet me. And my body language showed him that I wanted to avoid him. That is the thing. So the doctor wants to avoid, but the man who was gazing at him, looking at him, watching him closely, he wanted to meet him. So there is a conflict like that. Therefore, what did the doctor do? I gave no sign of having noticed the man. Somebody is looking at you. You don't look. You will look some other place like this. And that means you are not interested. So he showed that by his body language, his behavior, the doctor made him understand that he was not interested in talking to this man who was looking at him, who was gazing at him. Understand? So what are the main facts here? This is the second day of their travel. That's all. And where was he? He was going around the promenade deck. And what did he become aware of? He became aware of a man. What was the man doing? The man was gazing at him and watching him very closely. And did the doctor like this? No, the doctor did not like this. He did not. And then What was the attitude of the doctor towards casual people, casual contacts? He disliked casual contacts. What was the attitude of the doctor towards importunate people? He disliked importunate people also. So he thought that the man who was looking at him was a casual and importunate person. So he did not want to encourage such contacts of such people. So how did he react? He gave no signs of noticing the man. Or in other words, we can say he ignored I-G-N-O-R-E-D. I-G-N-O-R-E-D. He ignored the gazing of the person who was watching him closely. So two characters here. One is the doctor who wants to avoid any shipboard contact. Here is another person who somehow wants to get in contact with the doctor. The doctor wants to avoid, and the person who was gazing at him, he wants to talk to that person. Now let's see what's going to happen. Now I have made a simplified version of this. I will read out for you. You can see, look at the whiteboard here. This is a first person narrative. I have told you what is first person narrative. When the author himself tells a story, narrative means something that is told. When the author himself tells the story, that becomes a narrative. Here you can see I. See, it begins like this. Now you can say, on the second day out from New York, while making the round of the promenade deck, I gaze every time I passed, I wandered, I gave no. So that is the first person narrative. Dr. Cronin was one of the passengers in a ship. Here he speaks about the second day of his journey. Voyage, we said. Then the ship had left New York. On the first day of his journey, nothing special had happened. So, first day, the ship left, their journey, they began their journey. Nothing happened first day. Second day, this happens. And on the second day, he was walking on the deck of the ship. Promenade deck. That is, the deck was a public place. The deck was a public place means not that anybody, but that is, the public could make use of that place for walking. That's public place means. So all the passengers could use that place. That's the meaning. Not in the room, but outside. Not in the rooms, but outside. So that all the passengers in the ship can use that. That is the sense. In that sense, we say the deck is a public space. So all the passengers could use that place. As he was walking, he noticed that, he means doctor, one of the passengers was gazing at him. Gazing, looking straight at him. Watching closely, that is, gazing at him. He did not like that. Sorry, it is. He did not like it. And so, he did not show any sign of seeing him. Now what happened is that, when I was standing very near to the blackboard, that that part was, we can say, just disappeared. Because probably my t-shirt might have rubbed against those letters that I have written. That's why. Sorry for the trouble and for the inconvenience caused by that. Okay. So that's all right, done. So he did not show any sign of seeing him or any sign of watching him, because he was watching. So understand that. So you have got a few questions again I would like to ask you. So when did this happen? On the second day of their trip. On the second day of their trip, what was he doing? The doctor was walking around taking the round of the promenade deck. Understand? And then suddenly he became aware of. What did he become aware of? He became aware of a stranger, a casual contact. And what was the casual contact doing? He thought it was casual, he was gazing at him. Did he like it? No, he did not like it. How did he show his dislike? By avoiding him, avoiding his look. Because what was his attitude towards passengers as a whole? He disliked casual and importunate shipboard contacts. And so he did not show any sign of noticing this man and his watching him closely. I hope it is clear to you. Fine, all the words are clear. The simplified version I have given here. Now you can read the text and also we can think of possible questions from this part of the text and thus we proceed. Fine? So this is what we call communicative method of teaching English. Okay. I hope that you enjoy this. If you enjoy this, definitely you must share it, you must like it, and you must also subscribe. Bye.